Psalm 77, verses 11 through 20.
Have you ever heard of a man named Asaph? Now, Asaph is one of the psalmists. He was one of the musicians in the Hebrew nation. And he wrote a psalm that we number Psalm 77. And in that psalm, he is discouraged. His soul refuses to be comforted. He asks a lot of questions of the Lord. And then he came to two very wonderful conclusions. Now, perhaps you're going through some difficulty. Perhaps you're asking the Lord a lot of questions. You're asking why, how, when, how long? The very questions that Asaph was asking. And these are the two conclusions that he came to at the close of his experience with the Lord. Psalm 77, verse 13, Thy way, O God, is in the sanctuary. Who is as great a God as our God? And then verse 19, Thy way is in the sea, and thy path in the great waters, and thy footsteps are not known. What an unusual way to express his faith. First, he tells us that God's way is in the sanctuary. His way is a holy way. His way is a way of sanctification and holiness. God leads us in grace and from grace to glory. You see, God makes no mistakes. God's way is the best way. God's way has always been the best way. His way is in the sanctuary. And if you and I are living in the Holy of Holies, we'll be able to discover God's way. If we're in the holy Word of God, then we can have a holy walk with God. Secondly, God's way is in the sea. His way is not only a holy way, His way is a hidden way. How can you have a way in the sea? Only God can do that. You may not understand all the way that God is leading you today, but this you can know, God is leading you. Verse 20 of Psalm 77, Thou didst lead thy people like a flock by the hand of Moses and Aaron. His way is in the sea. And if he has to, he'll open up the sea for you. And if necessary, he'll help you walk on the water. But the psalmist came to the right conclusion. God's way is a holy way. Obey him. God's way is a hidden way. Trust him.